Please subscribe my channel." She chuckled lightly when she said it, not in a cruel way, but in a relaxed, offhand manner, as if the words meant nothing at all. "I don't need him to get by," she told the group, brushing it off with a wave of her hand, like I was something she could take or leave. A few people laughed nervously, not sure what to say. I stood there with my drink in hand, listening as if she was just commenting on the weather. But deep down, something clicked into place instead of breaking. I looked at her and smiled peacefully. "Let's see about that," I answered. No anger, no bitterness, just quiet confidence. The room fell silent for a second. Then everyone started talking again, thinking it was just a typical couple's banter. She rolled her eyes, still feeling sure of herself, untouchable. She thought being independent made her immune to consequences. I didn't say anything else that night. I didn't argue, explain, or defend myself. Some comments don't deserve a fight. They deserve real results. On the drive home, she chatted like everything was normal. I listened and nodded, but I was already pulling away inside. She figured the moment was over. She had no idea it was just starting. That night, while she slept soundly next to me, I stayed awake looking at the ceiling. Her words kept replaying in my mind, not because they hurt, but because they showed something clear. She no longer saw me as a true partner. She saw me as scenery, help, or convenience. For the first time, I honestly looked back at the past few years. How many times had I bent, forgiven, or stayed silent to keep things calm? How often was I only noticed when something needed fixing? I faced an uncomfortable truth. She wasn't completely wrong. She could get by without me because I had been living for her, not with her. That realization hit hard and cleared my head. By sunrise, I had made up my mind. Not out of revenge or to punish her, but to respond to her words in an honest way. If she truly believed she didn't need me, then she should feel what life was like without me. I quietly packed a small bag. I left my phone at home. No note, no explanation. I didn't want drama, I wanted reality. And reality doesn't need a big announcement. The morning went by quietly for her. She thought I had left early for work. By lunchtime, doubt started to grow. Her calls went unanswered. Her texts stayed unread. By evening, worry took over her confidence. I didn't check any of it. I was in a quiet, unfamiliar place, finally alone with my own thoughts. For the first time in years, I wasn't adjusting to someone else's mood or being available whenever needed. That space was on purpose. People don't appreciate your worth when you're always there. They notice it when the support they relied on is suddenly gone. I thought about how often I had been present, but overlooked. How love, when it's one-sided, turns into taking someone for granted. I didn't hate her. I wasn't mad. I was curious if her words were real or just bold talk. And I was ready to wait and find out. Silence isn't empty, it's room to think. And that room shows everything. By the second day, fear kicked in. She reached out to friends and family. She went over our usual routines, habits, and plans. She realized she had no idea where I would go, who I would contact, or what I would do without her. That hit her hard. Independence feels great until you see it was supported by someone else's reliability. I stayed away. I wasn't hiding. I just wasn't there for her. She had been comfortable knowing I was always around. Now she was learning what not needing someone really meant. That kind of lesson is seldom easy. Finally, she sent a message. It wasn't angry or snappy, it was frightened. "Please tell me where you are." I didn't answer. Not to hurt her, but because I hadn't decided yet. She needed to feel the quiet she had brushed off so casually. Sometimes the only way to grasp loss is to live it without knowing when it ends. On the third day, she found me. Not by luck, but through real effort. She looked worn out, eyes puffy, her usual self-assurance gone. The first thing she said wasn't anger, it was relief. "I didn't realize how much I depended on you," she said softly. Those words meant more than any sorry. I listened quietly as she talked about her fear, regret, and how fast her certainty fell apart once I was gone. I didn't cut in. When she was done, I shared my truth. I didn't leave to make her chase me. I left to be truly noticed. The pause after that was heavy, but real. She finally got it. Being independent doesn't mean pushing away the people who are there for you. It means choosing them on purpose. And she hadn't been choosing me for a while. We talked for hours. No yelling, no blame, just honest facts. I explained that her words weren't just thoughtless, they exposed the gap between us. Saying she didn't need me wasn't power, it was distance. And distance, if ignored, turns into permanent loss. She cried and apologized, saying she never meant it like that. I nodded. Good intentions don't cancel out the effect. I told her I didn't want to be needed out of panic, but chosen out of respect. That difference shifted everything. She saw that I wasn't bluffing about leaving. I had already done it and returned with clear boundaries. That frightened her, but it also brought her back to reality. For the first time, we weren't bargaining over feelings. We were setting clear lines. The days after were different, calmer, more thoughtful. She stopped taking things for granted. I stopped giving too much. We rebuilt our talk step by step with care. I didn't promise to stay forever. I promised to stay true. And that truth required work from both sides. I learned that vanishing wasn't about control. Coming back with self-respect was. Sometimes people only see your value when your absence makes them face their own reliance. Not just emotional, but practical. Once that's clear, things can't go back to the old way. They either get better or they end. When she laughed and said she didn't need me to get by, she thought she was sharing a simple truth. When I calmly answered, "Let's see about that," she took it as a joke. It wasn't. My leaving wasn't payback. It was honesty in action. And when she finally found me, it wasn't because she couldn't survive without me. It was because she understood that life had been better, stronger, and steadier with me in it. That understanding changed everything. Sometimes the most powerful message isn't spoken, it's shown through absence. And once absence has taught its lesson, nothing stays the same.